Global warming and climate change, the effects it has on the polar bear population and the severity of their endangerment. Polar bears make their home in the tundra biome. The tundra biome is depicted by its ice-covered landscapes that form in the winter months. Winter in the tundra consists of dark days and nights. The sun never rises, allowing the frost to accumulate and create a thick blanket that sculpts the landscape. The temperature in the tundra is extremely cold, the average being around -23 degrees Celsius. When considering the Arctic ecosystem, the living and non-living organisms must be considered. An ecosystem casts itself between the community, the polar bears, and the physical environment. Polar bears manipulate the polar ice caps of the tundra for habitual denning as well as a platform to hunt. Polar bears require a large amount of nutrients in order to survive the harsh winters. The various species of seals make up the majority of a polar bear's diet. Ring and bearded seals are hunted by male and female polar bears. Polar bears hunt seals using a variety of techniques. The most popular is using the polar ice caps as a platform from which they mount their attacks. When considering polar ice cap reduction, the ecology of polar bears, or the relationship the polar bear has with the surrounding environment, must be considered. Theoretically, the most logical prediction as to how global warming may affect polar bears' population in the Arctic will be the annual breakup of Arctic ice caps. An early breakup of the annual polar ice caps will reduce the amount of time polar bears have to receive sufficient amounts of nutrients before returning to shore for the open water period, which happens during the summer months. The unseasonal breakup of polar ice caps will cause the open water periods to come earlier. This does not allow for polar bears to successfully prey upon seals due to the unconsolidated nature of the seal population as well as the unconsolidated nature of the polar ice caps. Another negative effect of the early breakup of polar ice caps is that it will greatly increase the amount of open water swimming polar bears must do. Polar bears are very strong swimmers but have rarely been observed away from major land or ice mats. Another added risk to open water swimming is that the polar ice caps become much more dynamic. Unseasonal breakup of the polar ice caps will create an open water environment that is much more dangerous to polar bears. Polar bears swimming in open water will encounter increased wave heights compared to swimming in seas that are covered with more than 50% ice. Another aspect that will increase polar bear endangerment with open water swimming is that hunting efficiency will greatly decrease.